Yeah, I think I've always dreamt of being an explorer. And at some point in life, I kind of gave up on that. I thought, I had a house and I got a job. And then all of a sudden I had like a shift in my mind and decided that if that's what I really want to do, then that's what I'm going to do. And I found someone that is on board with that. She's an explorer herself.
And we wanted to carry on his grandparents' legacy. So they traveled in the bus in North and South America, and Josh has had this long time dream of being able to do the same.
Yeah, so my grandparents bought the bus in '70 and they converted it into an RV. They traveled all over the country until about 1989. After my grandfather passed, I purchased a bus for my grandmother, and I lived in it from 16 to 18 years old. Then the bus sat forever, and I've held on to it. And so after I finished it, it was really important to get my grandmother into this before she passed away at the age of 96. So about 5 months before she passed, we actually got her in the bus and took her for a ride. And I think there's lots of tears happening. My grandma was really blown away. She was pretty proud of how it came out, yeah. After I shared with my grandmother that I had been reconverting the bus because we kept it a secret from her, she immediately went into her cabinet and says, "Wait a minute, I got something for you." And she actually pulled out her guest book that they've had the entire time they were traveling. So that was pretty special.
We're definitely going hard on the Explorer. The goal right now is to actually start living in it full-time come March 2021. We're super excited about exploring the country and starting that in just under 4 months. Hi, I'm Carolyn.
And I'm Josh. We're from Crown and Style. This is our 1954 Crown school bus that we have been working on for the past 2.5 years. We've just finished it. Basically, everything on the outside of this bus has been replaced, aside from these 3 panels across here and the roof and 3 panels in the back. Everything else has been reskinned when we did a roof raise on it. So we actually cut the top of the bus, we raised it up 13 inches higher, and then we made a new windshield and then re-skinned the entire outside of the bus. All of the windows actually are dual pane, super insulated windows, and they have a reflective mirror tint on them that we thought would kind of keep people from seeing it at night, which really doesn't work at night. However, it's definitely a cool look. So this is actually storage all the way almost to the tire. So there's our dirty engine. So the bus originally had a Hall Scott gas engine in it. I think in 1982, my grandfather couldn't get parts for it when it broke, so he put the 262 Cummins in there, and we're actually in the process now, because this motor is become obsolete. We're actually putting a newer engine in, so it'll be the 3rd motor going into this bus. We're gonna do an 855 Cummins, and we've definitely put a little bit of horsepower and torque to it, so this thing's gonna move for sure. This is where we have storage. Our gray tank is down here, as well as our battery storage in here. And I left the original yellow because my grandparents left it yellow when they painted the outside of the bus, so I thought, you know what, I should keep the last little bit of, factory looking bus, and so I did the same thing. When we built the bus, we definitely didn't want a generator, so we really were relying on a lot of solar power and a large battery. So this is a Chevy Volt battery pack that we rewired. This is actually our fire extinguisher, so if something was to happen, this tubing would melt and blow fire extinguisher stuff on top of the battery to keep us safe. The battery is a 250 amp hour battery at 48 volts. So this is a Magnum Energy inverter, and it's actually 48 volts and a 4,400 watt peak. So we have our water pump up here, 3-stage water filter, and then we've snuck in the propane water heater in here, as well as a surge protector for our 50 amp service. So up on the roof I have basically 8 solar panels, and I put them on a slide actuating setup that I built, so that when I'm driving down the road, I've got 4 solar panels that are stacked on top, and then I hit an air switch and we deploy them once we get to where we're going. And the reason for that was because I didn't want it to look like a big deck up there. With this particular year and the round roof, it was very important to keep somewhat of the look of it. So this was the solution that I came up with, and it works actually really well. So right here, this is actually my area. Like, this is my cockpit. So we bought a used RV captain's chair, and then I wasn't really digging the blue vibe of the velvet. So we reupholstered it to kind of match my style. We left as much original as possible. The gauges are all new, however, somewhat of a replica of the original dash. It's got the original steering wheel in it. The only difference is the electronic transmission that I put in here is an automatic. I actually left the stick shift in here just for the look of it. And everybody asks me, is that a 10-speed transmission? And I'm like, well, it used to be, yeah. So yeah, we built just a little cabinet. We keep our first aid kit like right by the door because that's super important to us. And then this is the original heater, as well as the defroster up here. And we kept it all original, and then I did replace the radiator so that it actually worked. All right, let's fire this thing up. This thing, you feel it like the bus is alive. You know, you're in it. So because I got rid of this, I hit the clutch still. So yeah, this actually folds out into a bed. So there's another piece that folds over, and then as well as this also lifts up for storage underneath the entire couch. So much we don't even know we'll figure it out once we get on the road, I guess. Yeah, so this is a cubic mini stove that we put in, and we actually piped it up through the original vented roof system that was in here. When we laid out the bus, we knew that we wanted this to be very open. And so this is kind of like our coffee bar area. And then we put 4 stools in here, so if we have guests, because we don't have a traditional sit-down table, this is our dinner table, breakfast table, as well as our workstation. So we both work remotely, and this gives us plenty of room to do what we need to do for work, as well as, you know, multifunctional. So my grandparents I'm literally standing in the same spot that my grandfather was sitting in.
So the wood that we chose for the bus is pine, and it's actually reclaimed wood from Northern California as a result of the bark beetle destroying it over time. So we found planks of pine that we really liked and used for the floors, and then we used live edge wood for the countertop and for the bar top. So one of the things that I really enjoy about this kitchen is the fact that we have 2 refrigerators, and they look really retro. We picked the blue because it really went with our color scheme, and we actually picked 2 refrigerators so that we had the option of using one or using both depending on how much we're traveling with and where we are in the country. One of the other things that I really wanted was a large sink and a large countertop to be able to cook and entertain on. We don't have a ton of space in here, however, this really helps us feel like we have more and can share that space with people who come over to visit and actually stay with us. One of the other things that I really like are the deep drawers that we have for our kitchenware, including plates, cups, cutting boards, pots and pans, and nothing moves while we're traveling because Josh installed railroad ties as hooks. The backsplash that we chose is regular tile. We wanted something that was simple, clean looking, and easy to maintain. So the tile blends in really nicely, however it adds texture and it adds personality to the kitchen. So one of the things that we really talked about a lot was how large to make the bathroom. And we were super happy with how the shower came out. We did want a large shower, and we used the same silver tile that we did in the kitchen. However, it is a little small when it comes to the sink and the toilet. It's all wood, and it does, feel really nice, especially with the barn door closed. We can have some private space while we're both together in the bus. So we wanted some really nice storage space for our food and kitchenware. So Josh created this pantry with various shelves in it. And this actually also doubles as a door so that if we do have guests in the front of the bus, we can have some privacy for our own bedroom. And this is a pull-out pantry. So again, we have food storage and cleaning storage. And again, it doesn't move while we're driving as a result of the railroad ties that we use to tie it. And this is the bedroom area. We have a queen-sized bed. We have our dual air conditioning and heating system back here as well, just like we do in the front of the bus. And we have plenty of storage for our books. And under the bed, we have his and hers drawers. And actually under the bed as well is our large water tank. We have 2 storage areas up above as well, and then a closet space back here in which we're actually going to put a washing machine in the coming weeks.
Thanks for doing our bus tour, coming along with us. If you want to follow more of our adventure, check us out on Instagram at Crowned in Style.